Gentleman's time has expired. The chair recognizes the gentlelady from California, Ms. Camps.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And before I begin, may I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record two statements, each in favor of the Homestar and lead renovation rule?
Without objection?
One is from the Laborers International Union of North America, and the other is from the American Public Health Association.
Okay, without objection, so ordered.
As you know, Mr. Chairman, in 1992, this committee held hearings on a serious problem. Hundreds of thousands of children being harmed by exposure to lead, which damages the development of the brain and nervous system. This committee took action and passed the Lead Exposure Reduction Act on a bipartisan vote of 39-4. That legislation reduced lead hazards in a number of ways, including by requiring EPA to identify lead-safe remodeling and renovation practices and to make sure that contractors were trained in these lead-safe practices. Now, almost 20 years later, EPA has developed these common-sense rules, and they will finally go into effect next month. Mr. Pratt, you have suggested in your testimony that these long overdue projections for children's health should be further delayed in conjunction with the Homestar program. And I find this particularly very troubling. I wonder if you're aware that the EPA and Centers for Disease Control estimate that 1 million American children are now exposed to harmful levels of lead that damage the development of their brains and nervous systems, often irreparably.
Yes. The point that I was trying to make was that there's 14,000 contractors.
Let me get to that in a second, but thank you. Are you aware that the first year it is in effect, the lead rule is expected to shield 1.4 million children under the age of 6 from hazardous lead dust?
Yes.
Mr. Pratt, your testimony states that EPA has not certified enough contractors to comply with the lead renovation rule, and your testimony asserts that fewer than 14,000 contractors have been trained to date. Ms. Pratt, I understand that committee staff spoke with EPA yesterday. Did you know that based on updated information, the EPA estimates that 50,000 individuals have now been trained to date at more than 3,100 courses? Are you aware that EPA estimates that at least 100,000 individuals will be trained by the time the rule goes into effect next month?
No, I was not, but I would modify my written testimony if that's what's needed.
Thank you. Let me just wind up then. Thank you. Your testimony states that there are no training providers in several states, and I want to clarify that many of the training providers do travel from state to state, and these traveling providers have traveled to states that do not have fixed site trainers. For example, despite the absence of a fixed site training entity, hundreds of renovators have been trained in Louisiana already. And I'm going to close by just saying, Mr. Chairman,
you have 2 minutes left.
I know, but I want to make a statement. I appreciate Mr. Pratt's acknowledgement that maybe we need to update, the numbers that we have according to the latest figures that we're able to get. But I, for one, strongly oppose the notion of delaying this lead rule. I don't believe it's right, and I don't believe it's necessary. I believe taxpayer dollars should not go to projects that permanently damage children. And I don't accept that we need to sacrifice our kids' health in order to put people back to work and save energy. And with that, I yield back my time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, gentlelady.